Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I remain your host on this channel, Jess Signatures. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make a straight corset and to apply the waist snatching effect. Now in this video, I'll be showing you how to also make a 3-part back pattern for your corset. So if you've been interested in watching this, keep on watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Let's go to the workstation. So guys, this is just a basic bodice with no seam allowance. Like there's no seam allowance on this basic bodice pattern. Now on this pattern, I already have my chest line, which is 2 inches above the bust line, the under bust line, and the waistline. I have for both the front and the back bodies. Now the back, you know the difference between the front and the back. The back always have zip allowance. Now the neckline, it depends on what you want. I've not even drafted out the bust line that and the neckline that I want, but this is just the basic bodice pattern. If you want to know how I actually made my basic bodice pattern in full details, check the link showing on your screen, or you go to my channel and scroll up. I have a detailed tutorial on how I made a basic bodice pattern. So now for this corset, the first thing we need to do is to take the nipple to nipple measurement. Now the nipple to nipple measurement of my client is 6.5. You divide it by 2. 6.5 divided by 2 will give us 3.25. We are not adding allowance because this is a pattern. Take note of that. So we'll measure 3.25 all the way down. 3.25. All the way to the end of the pattern. And then you connect the lines together. Connect the lines together. Now, because of this is an off shoulder, or because we'll be adding a yoke, I'll just come down by about 6 inches from my shoulder point. I'm coming down by 6 inches because that will be the length of the yoke that we'll be using. So now we come down by about 6 inches and we extend the nipple to nipple line, which is 3.25, upwards to that place. Now, having done that, the next thing for us to do is to come to our under bust line and take out either 1 inch or 1.5 inches. Depends on how curvy you want it to be or how busty the person is. So let's see how 1.5 would look. Now when you take the 1.5 on both sides, you connect it to the bust line. If it's a bigger bust, you can decide to go down from the bust line by 1 inch and then come up from the bust line by 1 inch, so it will give you more curve. But this person does not have a big bust, so I'll not be doing that for this particular pattern. But if you feel you want to, you can still do that. So don't mind my curve ruler, it broke. You connect. Now you can see we have a cup here. Now for, like I said, for like a smaller bust, you do 1 inch and you will not get this much curve that you got here. So you just have it like this. You just have it like this. But I think 1.5 is fine. Now you connect, you come to this line that we drew, this 6 inches line that we drew, and you take 1 inch on both sides. 1 inch on both sides. When you take 1 inch on both sides, you connect that line with a curve. Do not connect with a straight line, please. And if you do connect with a straight line, make sure to blend all the sharp edges. So you connect it with a curve to this line. Okay, so because we'll be keeping this line, let me highlight it with my marker, because we'll be keeping it. When I'm drafting a pattern, especially a corset, I like to use my pencil because the marker is usually thick and it will be giving me extra lines that I don't want. So, but for the sake of tutorial, I have to go in with a marker so it will be clear enough for you to see. So now you can see that we already have sort of like a cup for the bust. Remember, this is our center front line. Center front, label it. So now it depends on the style line you want for this part. So let's say I want just a straight line, a straight style line, because that's what my client wants. You can decide to measure. You can decide to measure. Like here, I have 1.5 inches. So you can decide to measure. You can decide to even do as low as 1 inch if you want more style lines. But this is okay for me. Then the second one, since I'll be keeping the style lines out, so this is the first style line. The second one, I'll also be going in by 1.5 inches. By 1.5 inches. Now, before I draw that one, let me show you another thing you can do. You can just bring this one like this. You see what I did? Now to give here another kind of shape, but that will be for another tutorial. For the sake of this one, I want to keep it as easy and simple and plain as possible. So I'll be rolling this, which means we'll be cutting off this place, which means we do not need this part. So if you want more style lines, you can still continue. You can still give it more style lines. This is 1.5. If you do not want to measure, you don't have to. So I don't need this. So you can decide to do this if you want to. But for now, we have panel 1, we have 2 panels, and the center front I'll be joining it like that too. So now here's the trick. If you want to put a zipper at the back, you now have to replace all of this measurements that you took from here. So here I have 3.25. You put it 3.25. Here I have the same thing. If you'll be putting a zipper or you do not want to snatch the waist, you now add back your seam allowance that you took out. So guys, like I said, you'll be adding this allowance, this extra allowance, if you'll be putting a zipper or you do not want to cinch the waist. It's just not the cinching of your waistline. Now we've seen different kinds of corset that has different kinds of shape and look, but the proper way to make your corset is this. Now I'm removing all seam allowances from it, which means we are done with the front part of the dress. Now let's go to the back part, and if you want to put extra panels, feel free to do that. I don't think I'll be doing that. I might later on, but for now I don't think I'll be doing that. So let's go to the back. Now the back is pretty straightforward, very easy. What we do is you come to the waistline and you measure what you have here. I have 7.5 here. So 7.5 divided by 3. I want a 3-part back, or probably a 3-part back. Now we'll divide this waistline by 3. So I have 7.5. 7.5 divided by 3 gives me 2.5. So I'll measure 2.5 all the way on the waistline. After measuring the 2.5, I'll rule a straight line to connect upwards. Now for the 3-part back, you decide how low you want your back yoke to be. So I will be going with the same 6 inches for the back yoke. Remember, we did 6 inches for the front one. We're also going to be doing 6 inches for the back. So measure your 6 inches and just extend the lines. Now for the back, the cinching is just very easy. I'll cinch the back waistline by, let's say I'm using 2 inches, which means I'll be needing 1 inch here and 1 inch here. So half an inch will give us 1, half an inch will give us another 1. So now the way you normally connect any dart you're making. For the lower part, you come up by about 3 inches. For the lower part, you come up by about 3 inches, and then you connect it. You do the same for this other side. So the next thing to do, you measure ½ inch here. We don't need the zip allowance. We don't need the zip allowance. So you measure ½ inch here, and you connect it. Now note that if you're going to be doing, because all of this reduction I am doing is going to make the dress really tight, really not so much comfortable. So if you do not want all of this tightness on your body, be sure to add back whatever allowance you're taking out from here. But I'm not adding anything right now. So our front and back pattern is ready. So we have our panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 panels. So these are panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, 4, and 5. I'm really still thinking of adding an extra panel here, but I don't think I'll be doing that. Sorry, I didn't know I wasn't recording when I was cutting, but you get the point. It's just the cutting. There's no big there's no sort of big deal about it. So watch now as I cut the back panel.